Hello everyone, Semi-Retired Bob here. Today we are unboxing and setting up my new Starlink Mini just to see how it goes. As you can see, I've already pulled the tabs off this box that it came in. This did not come in the kit. This is my 5521 connector to USB-C that I plan on powering it with. But as you can see, rather than sending a separate insert, they put all of the setup instructions on the box lid. It comes with a power brick, and hopefully you can see that, but it is input is 100 to 240 volts, output is 30 something or other, 30 volts at 2 amps, making it 60 watts. But you can see it's got the standard 5521 connector in the bottom, and this just plugs into the wall. It also comes with a pole mount, and this will just snap into the Starlink Mini in place of the kickstand, and then you set it on a pole and tighten this down to mount it. Another very simple thing. I think it went back. There it goes. Now, we just pull this piece of cardboard off, and here is the Starlink Mini. This is the unit. It's got its kickstand. It's got a factory reset button on it so that if you need to factory reset it, you can. And it's got 2 ports underneath. That's the power port on the left, and this one over here. Let me see if I can get this. Watching the other guy do it seemed like that pulled right out easily, but this is where your RJ45 connector will go. I don't have that cable yet, but that cable will plug straight into there for running it straight into your computer or your router or whatever else there is. But this is a pretty solid feeling unit. It's got a cover that comes with it, and it also comes with a cable. I guess I should have taken this out of the package before I started this, but there we are. But as you can see, the cable, it's just a standard 5521 connector for DC, and it's got these rubber grommets around the end of it. Hopefully you can see that okay. That helps keep it waterproof, because this unit is, I forget exactly what the, whatever the rating is for 65 or 68. Basically, you can drop this in a foot of water and leave it there for a half hour and it won't hurt it, as long as the cables and plugs are in place, because obviously without the... Okay, now that it's not putting me on a stupid timer, we can go back to this thing. But that's the basic of everything you get in the box. The first thing you're going to want to do, and I've already done this, is I have downloaded the Starlink app. Hopefully you can see that. And it's right here with the... First I'm going to click on the check for obstructions button. And then I have to click on the Mini. There it is, the Mini. Find an open area, go outside and stand where you intend to put the Starlink. Scan the entire sky. I'm ready. Point your camera up And it's got this little game on it with bubbles that you basically just run around, and of course it's going to tell me that direction is obstructed. "97. Oh, this way. Come on. There we go. View results. Estimated obstructions. And of course this is running really slow on my phone because I barely have any signal from my router inside the house. Frequent interruptions, frequent interruptions. But anyway, I'm going to set it up here. And now it says plug in Starlink, connect all cables, and run power to the Starlink. So we're going to start here on this. We're going to turn on the AC power. For the first test, I'm just going to be using this. So we'll plug one end of this cable into here. You know it's fully seated when it's completely gone, like so. Oh, and I'm going to have to move this forward to the edge to give this room to plug in. And I'm going to set a little thing on that so it doesn't get away from me. And again, you know it's fully seated because it's flush. And you can't really see it out here in the sun, but there is a little blue light flashing down here in the corner. And we're going to go ahead and set this down here to the north. Now the thing that's interesting about this thing is barely the size of a piece of paper. It's about 12 inches by 10 inches. And if we go back here and look at the screen here, it's pulling about 27 watts on its setup. Open settings. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and connect to the Starlink Wi-Fi, which is right there. It's on. And then we go back to the app. It's hard to see out here in the bright sun. Establishing connection to your Starlink network. Open settings. Okay, now we go back to the Starlink app. Starlink paired successfully. Continue. Calculating orientation. In theory, it's supposed to go the bottom of the dish is basically supposed to be pointing north, which is where I've got it. Why is it offline? Starlink connected. I don't understand. Okay, configure the Wi-Fi. Network name, Bob Mini. And we'll give it a password. Wi-Fi is reloading to apply your new network settings. This takes about 1 minute. There's a lot of trees here in my neighborhood, so it takes a while. I may not actually get a signal on this thing in my neighborhood here. I might have to go over to the park. Connect. I am connected to Bob Mini. I'm done. Okay, now it shows I'm online. And it's still downloading a software update, so now we just have to wait. I think perhaps we can look back here. And you know, it's only pulling 15 to 17, 21, 20. It's not pulling very much power while it's downloading the software update, but it obviously has a connection because it's downloading the software update, and it shows online. I'm not getting a super strong Wi-Fi signal from it, but the one thing that I hadn't mentioned in this Mini is that the Mini only comes with a Wi-Fi 5, which is not nearly as powerful as some of the newer Wi-Fi 6s. But considering it's all integrated in one unit, that's not really too bad. If you stop and think, the older Starlinks, besides the dish itself being more than twice that size, it also comes with an external router. And now it's all in one setup. All in that one little box, that one little square of plastic, which feels very well made. It's very sturdy. It's very nice, but that's the whole thing, and it's still software downloading. This could take a while, so I'll be back after the download of the software update is complete. While it's doing that, maybe I can get an alignment done here. Aha! See, I can pick up. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it will update it in real time. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little there. See how it did that? Now it's oriented directly on the dish, and my Starlink is pointed in the correct direction, which puts it right back up over top of the house. So although after aligning it, it went from 60% complete, it's now up to 88% complete on downloading the software update. So I've got it aligned properly. I don't know if you could see that, but when you push the alignment button, it puts a little square on the screen, and you just move the dish around till it's lined up in the screen, and then the bright box pops up around it, and then you know you're in the right spot. And now it's actually done downloading, and now it's applying the software update, which is pretty cool. Ready to update, install now. Starlink is about to reboot. Internet will be unavailable for a few minutes. I do like how this keeps on, it keeps you up to date on what's going on. And now we can see as it's rebooting, it's pulling 32 watts, and that's going through here. And the reason I want to do it with the direct from USB, so that I'm running straight off of DC power, is that every time you convert from AC to DC, DC to AC, you get a little bit of power loss. The actual draw may not be any different, but using my power station, it of course is a DC battery, so it has the power stored in DC, and the first thing it has to do is run it through an inverter to convert it to AC, And then the little power brick that I plug right into the AC port on the battery then converts it back to DC. So each of those conversions uses a little bit of power. It says it's connected without it's connected without internet because it's rebooting. It's necessary. Starlink connected. It may take a few minutes for connections to stabilize. Okay. Now it's back down to 13 watts for its basic. Let's go ahead and run a speed. It's online. And there it goes. Considering that this is going to be working for me out in the middle of nowhere, desert Texas, it says I've got 144 megabits per second download, 14.9 megabits per second upload, and 27 milliseconds of latency, which is pretty doggone good. And now we're going to run the advanced speed test, which the bottleneck happens through the Wi-Fi. The original speed test is running from the normal speed test runs over your Wi-Fi, and it includes all of the connections. So the advanced speed test will show us what the megabits per second from the basically to the dish are, as opposed to the dish and across the Wi-Fi to my phone, which tells us about the maximum we can expect when we're out somewhere. And see, the dish itself is pulling between 210 to 270 megabits per second on download and up to 37 megabits per second upload. So that is all of that. Now we're going to back out a speed test, and let me go ahead and shut this down. I do want to go ahead and show you that this can be done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to power off the Starlink by unplugging it here. I'm going to pull this cable out of the power brick and put that away there. Then I'm going to plug this into my USB-C, turn on the USB ports, turn off the AC ports, and plug this into there. And now it's rebooting the dish. It's still pulling 39 watts, 40 watts. That's the whole reboot. Now let's reopen the Starlink app. It's disconnected. Starlink unreachable because it's booting. And the whole point of this test is to show you that it really can be run on just the USB-C. And it's still pulling 24 watts, so it's stabilized. So the actual readout on my battery isn't going to be that much better, but okay. And there's actually some shade being thrown on this, so I'm going to move this out in the same pattern to there. Perhaps the tree won't be in such a... Starlink paired successfully. See, it sees the dish. I'm connected to it. The Bob Mini is connected on just USB power. Successfully connected to your Starlink network. Paired successfully. So you have to do this every time you restart the dish. You have to run through the whole kind of setup process. No adjustments necessary. It may take a few minutes. There we go. We're online again. And let's go ahead and run the speed test again. Yep, about the same numbers. So, there you have it, folks. That's the Starlink Mini. And it's going to get me out into my off-grid setup down in Texas. And I hope that was helpful for everybody to see how that's going to work. Is it as fast as my home internet? No, not by a long shot. But considering I'm going to be out in the middle of the desert with no obstructions, this should work very well for me. That's what I've got for you today, folks. Don't forget, get out there, be 1% better. Today, tomorrow, every day. Have a great day, folks. I'll see you in the next one.